Hey there, Susie here. If you work one-on-one with clients, it's easy to think your income is capped by the number of hours that you can work. But believe me, it doesn't have to be. When I first started, I believed the same thing, that my revenue would hit a ceiling once my hours were maxed out. But as I explored new strategies, I realised my profit didn't need to be tied to the clock. That's exactly what I want to share with you at the Profitable Business Workshop on Thursday, the 14th of November. I'll show you how to grow your business and income without burning out or feeling like your income is capped by time. And while the workshop is valued at $470, it's free for you right now. So grab your seat at profitablebusinessworkshop.com. Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Her Business Podcast. I'm Susie, and today we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart, being a lifelong learner. And we're talking about why it's so important to keep a mindset for learning as a business owner. We're going to discuss how planning your personal development in a way that's intentional and meaningful really benefits you as a leader, for your team, as an entrepreneur, and simply as a human. And we often hear about the idea of being a lifelong learner, but I want to dig into what that actually looks like when you're running a business. Because let's be honest, being a business owner means you're constantly having curveballs thrown at you. It's that ability to adapt and learn while navigating those curveballs that makes the real difference. And here's a little eye-opener. Did you know that 44% of Australian adults do not have the literacy skills needed for everyday life? Isn't that unbelievable? We're so lucky, some of us. So financial literacy rates are apparently plummeting, and so many young entrepreneurs out there are feeling completely lost when it comes to things like business planning and financing. So I don't know about you, but I feel like it's such a privilege to be able to call myself a lifelong learner and pass on what I know to others. Because everyone, and I mean everyone, is deserving of education. But not all people go the traditional route. Not everyone thrives in that setting. So finding the right resources, podcasts like this one, great business books, masterclasses, retreats, masterminds, they're all invaluable to me. If you couldn't already tell, education and lifelong learning are pretty much what I do all day at Her Business. The whole business is set up to provide women entrepreneurs with resources, a community, education about how to make their lives and businesses the very best that they can be. So I'm excited to get into this episode. First, I want to talk about the word student, because I myself have a complicated relationship with that word. And I think that a lot of women who decide to do their own thing and start their own businesses probably have a similar story to mine. Now, I loved school until I didn't love it, because I decided that the traditional route of college education, university, it just wasn't right for me, which was a big risk. There were a lot of expectations to fill, a lot of pressure around that decision from family, from community, from friends. But ultimately, I decided to follow my heart and start making my own path in life. And I found that I was much more of a learn by doing kind of person. While nowadays I do love sticking my nose in as many books as I can, I still place the most value in real learning experiences. I learn by jumping in, trying things out, getting my hands dirty and adjusting as I go. That's always felt the most natural way for me to learn. So the word student has always been a little bit complicated for me. Does jumping in and getting my hands dirty without having read everything I need to read or being 100% ready, does that make me a bad student? Because when I was at school, there always seemed to be just one right answer, and I struggled with that idea because my brain never worked that way. And saying all that, I was an A student, but that was still not, it was really against my grain, the way that things were taught, the way that learning happened. And I've always wanted to explore the different possibilities out there and think outside the box to find alternative right answers. And that's probably why the traditional school route wasn't the right path for me, but it's also why entrepreneurship was actually a perfect fit, because that adapting and finding different answers and innovating is what being a business owner is all about, right? So while my relationship with the word student might be a big, complicated one, I believe that I've been able to embrace the role of being a student and being a teacher in my own right. And in some ways, I think we all are students. We're students of life, but not in the traditional way. Every week I'm reading, I'm listening, I'm attending programs, I'm putting myself back in the learner seat to continue to grow and evolve both personally and professionally. And I've been able to put that passion into my own Her Business community, helping women business owners like you create a life and a business that you love. So if you're listening right now and you don't connect with the word student, I want you to keep an open mind as you listen. Maybe you were the kid who couldn't sit still in her chair. Maybe you were the young adult who dropped out of school. Maybe you were the person who never thought themselves the smartest in the room. Maybe you stopped studying because you had a family to take care of. This episode is for you. Because just because you didn't take the traditional route, I believe you can use your individuality as an asset in your business. And you might just be surprised by how much of a lifelong learner you really are in a non-traditional way. And even if you do have a university degree and an MBA or a doctorate, this episode is going to be really important from the point of view of being a lifelong learner. And I want to talk about how important it is to running a business. This is where adaptability comes in. Things are always changing. When I started my very first business, the internet wasn't a thing. There was no such thing as email marketing. There were no social media channels. There were no Facebook ads. We were all about direct marketing, phone calls, print ads, newsletters, even back of bus advertising. But what if we never adapted and kept doing things the old way? We would have been left in the dust. Being able to adapt to new techniques, new technology is so important. And every year I make it a point to think about the new skills I might want to learn, the areas I want to improve, because you're never really done when it comes to learning what you need to know to be a great business owner. That's the beauty of the world. There's always something else that you can learn. And this is the big reason I love what we call the Her Business growth zones. They cover the 8 areas of business that you need to keep tabs on. And every month inside of our community, we focus on just one of these areas. If it's sales and marketing month, our members go all in on that topic. They take the time to analyze how their marketing is doing. They see and identify their weak spots. They take the time to consume podcasts, masterclasses, downloads, attend sessions around that topic. It's a deep dive into one area every month. And then the next month, we all together dive into a different growth zone, a different area of business that's essential for you as a business owner to understand. And it's an opportunity, a structured opportunity to plan your education. Our members are committed to lifelong learning too, because each month they essentially take a masterclass on a particular topic and become better experts at it. And then they can go and apply that information to their businesses. They can come back into the community and let us know where they've hit a snag or where they have questions. And this really implements the learning. So whether they want to reach more people, get new clients, hire a team member, do a social media strategy, implement systems, change technology, they have an opportunity to practice in areas that they may not initially know a lot about. And maybe you started your business and you know the best sales and marketing strategy. That's your area of expertise. Great, but that doesn't mean you can't sit in the learner's seat on a different topic or even in that topic. I've been a student of marketing for 30 years. And you might know marketing, but what about money or managing people or planning out a comprehensive year? We all have strengths in some areas, but being dedicated to learning lets us take the time to get educated on the other stuff. Now, I want to share a specific example of a time I really had to adapt and adapt quickly. So in 2007, it's a while ago now, but think back to that time. We decided to move Her Business from an offline association-style organisation that did events in Sydney, Melbourne and sometime Brisbane with a guest speaker and some canapes to becoming a fully online community. Because we wanted to help as many women as possible. No matter if they lived in a rural area or a city across the world, we wanted women all over to get the chance to take part in the educational programs and mentoring that we offered. So we decided to run our very first webinar in 2007. Now, I'm talking about a time before Zoom was a thing. People didn't even know what a webinar was. People would register and then call and ask where they needed to park, not realizing all they need to do is park their butt on their chair and join us online. So this was a really new thing, which meant I had to learn a whole new set of skills and quickly. And I did. I found a mentor while attending a marketing conference. I made myself adapt to this new thing called online marketing, online learning, using online platforms. And I took the time to educate myself and learn these new skills. And guess what? That learning paid off. The shift to becoming an online community way back when and marketing online put us way ahead of the market, leaving our competitors way, way behind. While others were still figuring out email lists, we were building an entire online community. And that led to some amazing opportunities where we had big brands and government departments reaching out. Everyone wanted us to run webinars for them. Everyone wanted to know how to do an ebook or some online giveaway to generate leads. And we were able to facilitate that for a price, of course. And it all happened because we were willing to adapt and take on new skills when that opportunity presented itself. Now, I want to talk a little bit about hard and soft skills. When we think about being a student or a lifelong learner, I think a lot of the time we lean towards hard skills, a tangible, structured skill that we can learn, which is great and very needed. I don't think one is more valuable than the other, soft or hard skills. They just serve different purposes. So in business, there are skills you can leverage to someone else. These leverageable skills and tasks are covered in 7 out of 8 of our growth zones. And they include things like planning, sales and marketing, products, systems, people, money, technology. Right? You can always learn a little bit, then bring in experts who can take care of that, or build up team members who can take care of that. But there's one thing you cannot hand off ever as an entrepreneur, and that is you. Our 8th growth zone is called the You growth zone, and that is about you as a leader, as a business owner, your knowledge, your confidence, your resilience. Those are on you to develop, and you can often get swept up with all the other things and forget to take care of you. And this you part can get swept under the rug in favor of focusing on hard skills. Now, personally, I believe the 3 most valuable skills as a business owner are your knowledge, your confidence, and your grit. Those 3 things are up to you. And it's up to you how you choose to expand yourself and learn new information. Now, lifelong learning is not just about acquiring new skills. It's about building a mindset of resilience and adaptability, knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. There's just a gap between where you are and where you want to be, and what is between that gap is what you are yet to learn. Now, being a lifelong learner doesn't mean you have to have your nose in textbooks all day, not at all. One of my favorite ways to keep learning is through travel. And I've been able to combine my love for exploring with my continued education by attending conferences either as a participant or as a speaker and retreats all over the world, from the USA, Canada, to Rio de Janeiro, to the UK, to Vietnam, and all over Australia and New Zealand. And there's something really special about combining those passions for me, travel and learning. They go hand in hand. So just being able to go somewhere else, experience new things, meet new people, eat new food, and get out there is such a valuable learning experience in itself. When you're away from your daily routine, away from all the errands and responsibilities, you open up a space to really learn and absorb new information. It's a chance to bring fresh perspective back to your business. That's why I'm all in on creating these experiences in the Her Business community for our members. We literally just finished up the growth retreat in Port Douglas. And in February, we're doing our very first Business Trailblazers program, which is a hike for business owners in New Zealand, which, by the way, is sold out. It's sold out within days of me announcing it. But we're going to be opening up spots to our next multi-day business and leadership hike soon. I am so excited to reveal this location. And of course, if you're a Her Business member, you get first dibs. So getting out of the day-to-day, learning new skills and connecting with like-minded entrepreneurs is just so inspiring. It creates a space where you can leave everything behind for a few days and fall back into that student position, where your only responsibility is to focus on your growth. That's why investing in your personal development really matters. Now, maybe that investment is in money, maybe it's an investment of time, maybe it's both. It's definitely an investment of your energy. And in order to find higher levels of success and create a business that fuels you year after year, you have to be willing to show up and learn. And it's a quote that I love to share. It's my quote, but I still love to share it. And that is that success in business comes not only from what you're doing, it comes from who you are being. How do you show up in your business, in your relationships, in your personal life, with your team? It's all a result of the level of self-development that you have already invested in. And so for you to reach your next level of who you want to be in the world, it's going to take that self-development, which usually takes learning some new things, some new skills, soft skills and hard skills. It's what increases your confidence to step into your own power, to play a bigger game, to be willing to raise your prices, to be willing to knock on closed doors and ask for what you want, to help your business grow into what it could be. That is what you get when you invest in yourself and your development. That's what you achieve when you dedicate yourself to being a lifelong learner. And there are so many different ways to invest in yourself. And it's hard to say which investments I've made have paid off the most because all of them have been so impactful for me. But for one, the easiest investment I've made is in reading the right books. Books have been my teachers for years. In books, you can access the brightest of minds out there for almost no money. It's why we have inside of Her Business a book club where 3 times a year our members get a hand-selected business or self-help book that's going to further their knowledge and further their business. And then there's other resources like podcasts like this one, online courses, online challenges, even just following smart people on Instagram. Now, these small things are still investments that you can make in yourself, and they have such an impact. And then, of course, I'm a huge advocate for attending retreats or getting into a mastermind if you have the ability to do so. And I can't tell you how impactful masterminds and focused business retreats have been for my life, for me personally, and for me as a business owner. And I attend multiple in-person mastermind retreats every year, and I'm always excited to jump the opportunity to learn something new in an intensive, no distractions kind of setting. That really fuels my ability to learn and the way that I learn best. But no matter how you choose to be a learner, how you choose to be a student right now, whether you go to retreats or you listen to this podcast every week, I want you to know that you are your best investment. And being able to learn and then implement the knowledge you gain, that's where you're going to see real changes and real growth. This is why the You Growth Zone is my favorite of our 8 Her Business growth zones. Because to keep your business relevant and thriving, you have to keep investing in yourself. It's about figuring out who you need to be as you grow. When you first start a business, maybe it's just you. But as you grow, you might have a team. You might be hitting new financial milestones. You might want to work fewer days but make more of an impact. Every stage of your growth requires you to be a new person. It requires a new version of you. So the You Growth Zone is something you can't ever ignore. As I said, it's the one area of business you cannot leverage, no matter what the levels of success that you reach. So as I close out today, my hope for you is that you take one thing from today and think about how you can start to apply it. Pick one area you'd like to improve this month, whether it's a skill, a mindset shift, or even just a new book that's been sitting on your nightstand. And choose that one area and invest in yourself. Invest in being a lifelong learner dedicated to improving yourself and bettering who you can be, and really prioritize this for you. It's such a gift to yourself and to your future self. And if you're looking for a community to grow with, the Her Business Network is here waiting for you. You do not have to do this journey alone. If you want a really structured and supportive way to grow, to meet other women business owners and learn new skills, I encourage you to get on the Her Business Network waitlist because we're closed at the moment, but we will be extending a few invitations shortly. So head on over to herbusinessnetwork.com and join the waitlist. And I will let you know as soon as we have a slot available and we can get you in. Thank you for listening. Join us on the next episode for more inspiring stories and lessons from successful business entrepreneurs. I love doing this show for you. I've been doing it for years now, and I really appreciate you listening, whether this is your first time or you've listened to every single one of our 280 previous episodes. Here's what I love. I love it when I get a comment from you on what you enjoyed or what you implemented. It really makes my day. And how you can let me know is you can either head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating or a review. That's really helpful, and it really allows the show to get out to more and more people. Or you can email me at podcast@herbusiness.com. Now, over at herbusiness.com/281, you'll find a summary of what we've covered today, as well as links to other resources that I might have mentioned here today. And if you've enjoyed this episode and you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button wherever you are. Join me next time right here on the Her Business podcast. Bye for now, and thanks again for listening.